Hi everyone, it's Jess, aka Colouring Bumblebee, and I'm back today with another video for you. Today I thought it'd be fun to show you a video of how I plan and use colour palettes on a colouring page. I have selected this book, A Million Cute Animals by Lulu Mayo, as I have this as a buddy colour this month with Jodie from JI Colorist. We are colouring the gramophone kitty here, and I thought it'd be interesting to find a colour palette for this and show you my process of how I go about choosing that. So when I first look at a page, I like to think about certain colours that I know I would like to use. So as this page has a lot of leaves and greenery, I know I want to use at least one kind of green, and the only other idea I have so far is an orange kitty. I'm thinking maybe some gold tones, gold metallic for the gramophone, but the rest of it I'm undecided, so I use my colour cubes to help me find a colour palette. I have both of the colour cubes. These have been created by Sarah Renae Clark. They are an amazing tool for colourists and artists. They come in 2 volumes, and they come as these little cards which have colour palettes on them. And I was really struggling to find colour palettes with this. It's a lot to look through. They're very tightly packed in these boxes. They're very compact, and I found I had to take out wads of cards and go through them, and it was taking me a long time. So instead I decided to go ahead and purchase the colour catalogue. This is a file that you have on your phone, or I also have it on my iPad here. I have one for volume 2 and one for volume 1, and this just gives you a better way of searching for the colour palettes. It has them all listed out here. Give me 1 second, I'm just going to adjust the exposure of this. There we go, that's a little better. You can see the screen more clearly now. So I will give you a quick overview of the colour catalogue. So I will show you volume 1 here. We start with a page where you have hyperlinks to the colours, keywords and collections. And if you scroll down a little bit more, you have a little thumbnail of every colour palette in that colour cube. So this is all of the colour palettes from volume 1. And then if I move across, you've also got all the colour palettes from volume 2 there. Often I will go up and browse by colours. If there is a certain colour I want to use, I'm feeling for my page and the greens that I'd like to use. Thinking bright colours, maybe the hunter green or the forest green. So I'm going to click on forest green to start with, and it takes me to all of the forest green colour palettes. I will go over to the other colour catalogue and browse by colours, go to forest green there, so I have both of them easily available at my fingertips. So looking at these, I said that I wanted to include greens and an orange. So I'm looking at palette 22, that could be a possibility. Should write these down on a bit of paper. So 22 could work with an orange. We have 95 here. I'm not too sure about that one. I don't like the browns involved with that one, so I'll give that a miss. And if you want to go back to your colours, you can just click it on here, can you? Can you click this? Nope. Okay, you need to go back on the colour wheel, forest green, to go back. We've got this one which has an orange, but I don't like the dark colours. I want something quite bright and vibrant. So I will go ahead and look at the other catalogue and see in this one, We've got 407 here, has some nice bright colours. No orange, but I think I could easily swap out the yellow instead, so I'm going to write that down. But now I'm just going to go back to the colours and pick a different green, so I'm just going to go for the basic green now. Oh, let me move you down a little bit. So I'm having a look at these green palettes. Nothing is necessarily jumping out at me. We've already looked at 407 there. Go back to the other one. And go... Oh, we don't have just green on this one. We'll go light green. Nope, nothing's jumping out to me on that one. So I'll go back, apple green. Have a look at these. We've got this one which has an orange in. Could be potential. That is colour palette 53. What else do we have? We have this one, 218. This is giving me more rainbowy vibes. I kind of like it. 218. We'll have a look at that. So I just go through these, have a look, as I find it easier to browse on here than in the actual cubes itself. Then I'll pull out the colour cards and have a closer look and use them to narrow down my options. 30 is interesting. I could switch this yellow for a more orange, combine the sort of red. Could even keep those colours and just add the orange to it. That's 30. Did I already look at Kelly Green? I think so. No, I haven't. There's the Kale ones. Nothing's jumping out at me there. Kelly Green. You've got 132 has all of my colours, but I kind of want some different tones. Maybe a blue would be nice with it as well. Go back to Kelly Green. This one's interesting. We've got a dark blue, more sort of a magenta colour, green and reds and orangey. 28, pull that one. Because you will find that the cards look slightly different on the screen than it does in real life. $387. I really like this one. I like this tealy blue colour. And a nice variety of colours I think will look nice on this page. Let's have a look at apple green on this one. $390 could possibly be good. Okay, we'll pull that as well. And then I often just like to go back to the start and look at all of them as a whole to see if there's anything jumping out at me that contain some of the possible colours that I like. Because I started off wanting green and orange, but now I'm thinking maybe I'd like a blue in there as well. And you don't have to stick to the colour palettes. Like this one's jumping out at me, and it would go nicely with the green, I think, with these colours for the rest of the page. So I'm marking that down as well. Because I just use these colour palettes as a guide. Shouldn't be set in stone. Sometimes it's nice to challenge yourself and just use a set colour palette, but I like to chop and change. Have I got this one written down? That one's nice, 410. That's the orange, the green, bit of a different shade of green, that one, as well as blue and yellow. Oh, wrong button. So we got to this page. I like this one too, 464. Another one with the more sort of different tones of the green, but can be interesting. And I quite like this sort of bronzy coppery colour, would look nice on maybe the gramophone itself. So I think that's everything from this colour cube that jumps out to me. We'll have a look back at the first one. This one, 52. This doesn't have a green, but I could easily add it in. And this one as well, kind of similar vibe with the orange, yellow, blue tones are really calling to me for this page. So I think that's all that's jumping out to me at the moment. I've got my list here. The ones at the top are ones with the green, and the ones at the bottom are palettes that I could add green to. So I'm just going to pause you now and pick out those colour cube cards. So here we go. I've got my colour palettes picked out. Are ones that I saw as few possibilities. This one I think would look quite nice. Sort of two different colour toned greens for the leaves. Do sort of a blue background here or on the flooring, yellow flowers, orange kitty. So that I'm going to pop aside as a possibility. This one has too many colours in it for my opinion. Not sure about the pink, so I'll put that aside. This one, I like the tones of green. It's the same two tones of green as we had on the first one I showed. Same, or almost the same two tones. But I'm not so much a fan of this sort of chartreusey colour and the dark burgundy, so I'm going to pop that aside as well. 218. This one I think is too many colours in, although it's not too bad. I'm not sure about this white at the top. The rest might look alright, but then it's like an almost rainbow, so I'd rather not. This one, I'm just not feeling it. The tone of green isn't right. Not sure about this sort of pinky tone with the red, so I'll pass on that one for this page. This one I think could work, but again we've got two kind of different tones of reds which might clash a little bit on this particular page. I'll pass on that one. This one, like one of the ones before, there's a few too many colours for me for this page. I want to keep it a bit more simple. And the same for this one as well. Too many colours. And then we have this one. This one I think it is quite similar to this. In fact, I'd almost like it if I combined the two. I often like to do that, where I combine two different colour palettes, where I have those greens with the rest of those. That looks quite nice, so I will keep that aside as a potential. Then we have the four that I selected that didn't have any greens in, but I could always add greens. So I'm going to keep this to the side to see how it looks with those two-tone greens. So that I quite like. I'm not so much a fan of this middle colour, the light blue, although that blue could work quite nicely for the background. It's sort of a neutral tone, some darker tones on the box. That is a possibility. This one I'm not so much a fan of. I prefer the other ones we've seen so far, so I'll pop that aside. And this one I think is too reddish in tone, so I'll pop that aside as well. And then we have this one. I'm going to look at that one with the greens as well, see how it looks. No, I think I prefer the other two over this one, so I'll put that aside. So either we go for palette 22, we go for a combination of 22 and 300 here with those colours, or I'm also thinking for 10. Now I want to pop that away. We have similar vibes with these, but I prefer the tones of greens in that one compared to that one. So I'm going to pop that aside too. So 22 or 22 and 300 together. Let me know in the comments down below right now which one you would pick. Personally, if you were colouring this page, would you use 22 by itself or a combination of them both? And I am going to find some pencil sets to see what works for me, and you'll find out what I decide in a moment. So as you can see, I decided to go for the combination of palette 22 and 300 together. I looked at my pencil sets and found I had the best matches with my Black Widows, looking at my swatch charts. So the way I compare these is that I take the colour cube cards, flip them the other way, and you have the colours all nicely lined up to the edge of the paper here, and I just go around trying to find the best match for each of the colours by just popping the corner of it, and it allows you to get a better idea of what's what. So that's the way I like to match my colours. Obviously, if you're using this on a screen, just try and find your best match. It doesn't have to be 100% perfect, it's your page after all. But these are the pencils that I found for it. So I have 4 different sets of Black Widows. I've got the Spider, Cobra and Scorpion set, as well as the Monarch set. And I pulled pencils, I think, from each one of those. Yes? No? Yeah, Black Widow, Scorpion, Cobra and Monarch. So from the Cobra set, I pulled out Forest for this deep dark green. I pulled out Green Grass for the lighter green. Blue Moon for the dark blue. Cat's Eye for the light blue. Mango for the peachy orange, yellowy colour. Burnt orange for the orange. And Tarantula for the reddish brown. And I thought these matched up quite well. And I will then go through and I will break down each of the colours and find colour blends for each of them when I actually come to colouring the page. But my idea so far is to have my orange kitty as the focal point here, and have these flowers down here with, I think, the yellow, the mango colour, the yellow and a blue background, and maybe a gold for the border. Do this dark brownish red for the box of the gramophone, and use a variety of the colours for the little trinkets here, and change up the greens, so do a darker green blend for some of them and a lighter green blend for the others. And then I'm thinking of maybe doing a metallic gold watercolour for the actual gramophone itself. So I am going to leave it there. That is how I use colour palettes to pick a page. If you'd like me to see me do this again, or maybe do more than one palette in one video, more than one page in one video, do let me know. I am going to start to film this as a colour along, and that will be coming up on the channel later, so you will see me break down these colours in a bit more detail. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye everyone!